Think about the last time you met someone new at a party or a networking event. You exchange names, maybe talk about what you do for a living. Then, the inevitable question pops up, "What's your Instagram?" Or, "Let me add you on LinkedIn." And then they say it. 5 words that stop the conversation in its tracks. "I don't have social media." In 2015, that sentence made you sound like a hermit. In 2020, it made you sound suspicious. But today, in 2026, sounds like a flex. It sounds like the ultimate power move. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we aren't just talking about digital detoxes or unplugging for the weekend. We are diving deep into the psychology of total disconnection. Why has opting out of the algorithm become a status symbol? What happens to the human brain when it reclaims its autonomy from the scroll? And why might deleting your accounts be the most psychologically robust decision you can make this year? Let's get into it. To understand why leaving social media is powerful, we first have to look at the environment we're leaving behind. By 2026, the attention economy has evolved into what some psychologists are calling the intrusion economy. For years, we knew that platforms were harvesting our data. But as AI integration became seamless in 2024 and 2025, the algorithms stopped just showing us what we liked and started predicting what would trigger our deepest insecurities. The feedback loops became tighter, faster, and more aggressive. Psychologically, this creates a state of chronic hypervigilance. Your brain is constantly scanning for social threats, validation, or outrage. It is exhausting. When you say, "I don't have social media," you are essentially saying, "I am opting out of the intrusion economy." You are signaling that your attention is not for sale. In an era where attention is the scarcest currency, hoarding your own supply is an act of rebellion. It signals high status because it implies you have the resources, financial, social, and emotional, to exist without the constant feedback loop of the internet. You don't need the likes to verify your existence. You just exist. Let's talk neuroscience. You've heard of dopamine. It's the neurotransmitter associated with motivation, reward, and pleasure. Social media was engineered to hack this system. Every notification is a variable reward, similar to a slot machine. By 2026, however, we are seeing widespread dopamine burnout. People are reporting high levels of anhedonia, the inability to feel pleasure in normally enjoyable activities. Why? Because their baseline for stimulation is so artificially high that real life, reading a book, walking a dog, having a slow conversation, feels painfully boring. When you delete these apps, you go through a withdrawal period. It's real and it's uncomfortable. But on the other side of that is what I call dopaminergic autonomy. This is the power move. When you don't have social media, your dopamine system resets. You regain the ability to find satisfaction in low-stimulation environments. You become the person in the room who can sit in silence without twitching for a phone. You can maintain eye contact. You can read a long-form article without skimming. In a world of fractured attention spans, the ability to focus deeply is a superpower. It's not just about productivity. It's about emotional stability. You are no longer riding the roller coaster of high highs and crashing lows dictated by an algorithm. You are driving the car. Let's shift to social psychology. We live in the age of oversharing. We know what our coworkers had for breakfast, we know our ex's political views, and we know exactly where our friends went on vacation. There is zero mystery left. And psychology tells us that mystery is a core component of attraction and intrigue. When you aren't online, you become a blank slate. People can't project their assumptions onto your curated grid because you don't have one. They have to actually talk to you to get to know you. This creates what I call the mystery premium. In 2026, being unknowable is incredibly charismatic. It forces people to engage with you in the present moment. They can't creep on you beforehand. They can't prejudge you based on who you follow or how many likes you get. This shifts the power dynamic in social interactions. Usually, we walk into a room feeling exposed because we know our digital footprint precedes us. Without social media, you walk in with a clean slate. You control the narrative of your life because you are the only one telling it, in real time, face to face. This also protects you from the spotlight effect. the psychological phenomenon where we believe people are noticing us much more than they actually are. Social media amplifies this, making us feel like we are constantly on stage. When you leave, the stage lights turn off. The relief is palpable. You realize you are allowed to make mistakes, have bad hair days, and change your mind without an audience documenting it. Social comparison theory, originally proposed by Leon Festinger, suggests that we determine our own social and personal worth based on how we stack up against others. In the ancestral environment, we compared ourselves to our tribe, maybe 50 to 100 people. If you were the best hunter or the best weaver, you felt good. Today, you are comparing yourself to the top 0.01% of the entire human population. You are comparing your Tuesday morning to a supermodel's highlight reel in the Maldives. It is a losing game. It is psychologically devastating. By 2026, the rise of AI-generated influencers has made this even worse. We are now comparing ourselves to people who don't even exist. We are measuring our messy human reality against digitally rendered perfection. Deleting social media is the only way to opt out of this rigged game. When you quit, your reference group shrinks back down to reality, your friends, your family, your colleagues. Suddenly, you aren't failing because you aren't a billionaire by 25. You're doing just fine. Your self-esteem stabilizes because it's rooted in tangible reality, not curated fantasy. This is a massive power move for your mental health. It builds a kind of confidence that is unshakable because it isn't dependent on external validation metrics. One of the biggest fears people have about quitting is loneliness. If I'm not on the group chat, if I don't see the stories, will I be forgotten? The paradox is that social media often creates loneliness, not connection. It gives us the illusion of companionship without the demands of intimacy. We trade deep connection for broad connectivity. When you leave social media, your circle will likely shrink. I won't lie to you about that. The loose acquaintances, the happy birthday friends, the people you only know through memes, they will fade away. But what remains? The people who actually care, the people who will call you, the people who will make plans to see you. This filters your social life for quality over quantity. You start having what psychologists call high-fidelity interactions. You trade 100 likes for one 3-hour conversation over dinner. In 2026, deep friendship is rare. We are suffering from a friendship recession. By removing the digital buffer, you force your relationships to become intentional. You have to reach out. You have to show up. And when you do, you are fully present. Being the person who remembers birthdays without a Facebook notification, that is powerful. Being the friend who calls just to ask, "How are you?" without needing to react to a story, that is rare. Let's look at the cognitive aspect. Social media platforms are designed to bypass your critical thinking faculties. They rely on emotional contagion. Fear, anger, and outrage spread faster than nuance or facts. When you consume news and information through these filters, your worldview becomes fragmented and polarized. You aren't thinking, you're reacting. Leaving social media is a power move for your intellect. It allows you to engage in slow information. You read books, you read long-form journalism, you listen to full podcasts. You give yourself time to digest information before forming an opinion. In a world where everyone is rushing to have a hot take, within minutes of an event, silence and contemplation are revolutionary. You become a person who thinks for themselves, rather than regurgitating the consensus of your algorithmic bubble. This cognitive security protects you from manipulation. You become harder to trigger, harder to fool, and harder to control. Finally, let's talk about privacy. In 2026, data is the new oil and you are the well. Every click, hover, and scroll is monetized. Reclaiming your privacy is the ultimate act of defiance. It creates a boundary that says, "My life is for me, not for consumption." There is a profound psychological safety in privacy. When you keep your wins, your losses, and your mundane moments to yourself, you nurture an internal locus of control. You learn to validate yourself. You celebrate a promotion because you worked hard for it, not because 500 people hit a thumbs up button. You mourn a loss privately, processing the grief fully, rather than performing it for sympathy. This internalizes your life experience. It makes you solid. It makes you whole. So, is I don't have social media the ultimate power move? Yes, but not because it makes you better than anyone else. It's a power move because it gives you power over yourself. It gives you back your time. It gives you back your dopamine. It gives you back your self-esteem. And most importantly, it gives you back your reality. It is not an easy path. The world is built to keep you scrolling. But if you can walk away, you might just find that the life you were looking for on the screen was waiting for you off of it all along. If you're thinking about quitting or if you've already left, let me know in the comments. Ironic, I know. But let's use this space for high-fidelity discussion. How has your psychology changed since you logged off? I'll see you in the next one. Take care of your mind.